Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to look at a brand new series that I am working on right now, and that series is called The Truth of the Afton Family. This series is going to focus on many members of the Afton family and who they are. And since people don't know who they are, we're going to start with Cassidy, aka the soul of Golden Freddy. Now, people keep arguing that she isn't an Afton, but some say she is. But I'm gonna give you further proof and evidence to show that she is an Afton. Without further ado, let's start the video. I am a firm believer in Cassidy plush, and here's why. The Fredbear plush has been teleporting everywhere Bite Victim goes. We see him on the bed, we see her on the grandfather clock, and we see her in the empty bedroom. Now, this is a very interesting point since the bedroom has a picture of a flower. And this should belong to Cassidy because someone says that the flower in the picture represents sorrow and sympathy, meaning representing death. And when we go outside of the front yard, outside of our house, we can see yellow flowers surrounding the front yard. Only yellow flowers. And you can see the Fredbear plush's head onto one of those flowers. And those flowers are the same ones that we see right next to the pigtail girl and the Fredbear plush as well. She said some very encryptic stuff that is related to the missing children, and what Bite Victim saw something very terrifying. These are some further proof that the Fredbear plush is Cassidy. Another thing I wanted to point out is that the Fredbear plush's behavior, like saying stuff like, "No, don't you remember what you saw?" Or, "You know what will happen if he catches you?" Or, "Hurry and find someone who can help," and "Tomorrow is another day." So yeah. And there is this very interesting line called "I will put you back together" in the final minigame, and this is the Cassidy speaking through the Bite Victim, and this is why that the Fredbear plush is Cassidy. If you don't think that convinced you, let's move on to our next topic. Five Nights at Freddy's World might be fun and innocent at first, or when you first meet the eye to it, but however, this game is way more encrypting than you think it is. And I'm gonna show you the Five Nights at Freddy's World intro sequence and the glowing set of yellow eyes saying something when you first open up the game. In the first Glitch Bear cutscene, it seems very normal at first, but when he gets to his last quote, there is a done button. However, if you don't press it, you get something very encrypted. And he started to say things like, "But you don't really believe that, do you? And there is a task for you to complete. You have to leave breadcrumbs for him to help him find his way." And in the clock minigames, you have to go on a quest to find the clocks. And when you finish collecting the clocks, you get a reward. As we see in the clock ending, we can see the same set of eyes in the void saying something very encrypted. Here is what the mysterious glowing eye figure said to the bite victim. Cassidy tells us that the pieces are in place for us and we do need to find them. And notice how the eyes in the black void are yellow. And I want to point that out for you guys. Anyways, so here is the update 2 ending of Five Nights at Freddy's World. And what do we see? The same black void with yellow eyes, with the person or the entity speaking in Circus Baby's voice. Have a listen.
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
So yeah, as you can see, she literally said that in Circus Baby's voice. And why do I say this? Because those eyes that you just saw in the update 2 ending are the same exact eyes in the intro sequence. It's a clear match of what you just see. Anyways, so yeah, that proves that the FNAF plush is Cassidy. And here are connections between Cassidy's voice and Circus Baby's voice. I'm going to put some examples of why those voices match up. That Cassidy's voice sounds so much like Circus Baby's voice. And here are a few examples.
I don't recognize you. You are new. I remember this scenario, however. It's a strange thing to want to do, to come here. I'm curious what events would lead a person to want to spend their nights in a place like this, willingly. Maybe curiosity, maybe ignorance. There is a space under the desk. Someone before you crafted it into a hiding place, and it worked for him. I recommend that you hurry, though. You will be safe there. Just try not to make eye contact. It will be over soon. They will lose interest. Building last night. The cameras were searching for you, but they couldn't find you. I have you hidden too well. I kidnapped you. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. I am only going to keep you for a little while. Try not to wiggle, though. You're inside something that came from my old pizzeria. I don't think it was ever used. At least not the way it was meant to be used. Too dangerous. It's just big enough for one person to fit inside, but just barely. You're in the scooping room. Do you know why they call it the scooping room?
So, as you can see, Circus Baby is talking to us in sister location, and we can also notice a familiar voice. Now, to me, I don't think Circus Baby is actually talking to us in sister location, but rather the spirit of Cassidy speaking through Circus Baby. And she also told us that we're inside of something filled with spring locks, and she said it's too dangerous. How could she know that? This is because Cassidy was killed by a spring lock when William put her inside of the suit that wasn't safe at a separate location, saying like the remodeled version of Fredbear's. So yeah, maybe this is why Cassidy is so vengeful, and why we see or hear her in sister location. So yeah, here is an example from Ultimate Custom Night. Voices from different characters, but however, there is one group that has very encryptic lines, and those are the mediocre melodies. At first, their line seems normal, but at a rare chance, you can hear someone whispering in the background, and the mediocre melodies said something very encrypting. Here are a few examples.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
This is how it feels, and you get to experience it over and over and over again, forever. I will never let you leave.
He tried to release you. He tried to release us. But I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here. No matter how many times they burn us.
So as you can see, you can clearly hear the whispering in the background of Ultimate Custom Night when the mediocre melodies speak in a very encryptic way. Now, if you didn't go back and watch the part of Circus Baby's voice, you can clearly tell that it's the exact same voice. So yeah, it's Cassidy speaking in the background, or the vengeful spirit of a character whispering in the background. Now, if you don't think that's enough evidence for you, it's time to move on to the Fazbear Frights books. And I'm gonna tell you of some of the stories, but I'm gonna focus on 2 stories, or maybe 3 stories that I want to talk about today. And here it is. And he has to lay in the hospital bed. However, in this story, it is revealed that a spirit is keeping him alive and torturing him in the hospital bed. Now, I know this isn't a parallel, but this might be that Cassidy is keeping William alive, and she will not let William go until she feels likes it. So yeah, the parallels of Golden Freddy keeping people alive in the stories, well, this is one of them. He is keeping William alive in order to torture him. So, yeah. Because Cassidy is a vengeful spirit, and the book even implies that there are 2 entities torturing William Afton. When we know it's not Old Man Consequences, because he told Cassidy to lead the demons to his demons, or Cassidy and the One to lead the demons to his demons. Rest your own soul, there is nothing else. So yeah, more evidence of Cassidy keeping William want more evidence of Cassidy being an Afton, well, I did say I'm going to do a few Fazbear Fright stories, but I think I'm just going to use this one instead. And yeah, that's the evidence of the man in room 1280. Many people went into the game files and found out that the princess name was Cassidy, but it was later changed to Princess. This is because that Cassidy's quest is done. In Princess Quest 1, Cassidy is just lighting up the torches, and many of the floating, glitching rabbit heads attacked her. As we can see in the first Princess Quest, in Princess Quest 2, she is holding the Sword of Light, and then she is fighting back. At the end of Princess Quest 2, the king, or the old man, tells us that it's time to sleep. But Cassidy doesn't listen, and then we enter a room, which is the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 office in VR. So yeah, this proves that Cassidy never rests. So yeah, and she is keeping William alive, and that's how they ended up in VR, because of the Golden Freddy Easter egg in Curse of Dreadbear. So, yeah. Her sprite in Princess Quest says it all, including the parallels in Princess Quest. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.